what we're going to do, we've kind of thrown this in at the last minute because I wanted to whet your appetite for some of those light setups. We're going to use 2 lights, and also with Sue's backlit, there's a little twist that I put on it that I wanted to show you. Really, we tried to go there, and I just wanted to get that flare, show you how I'm going to do that. Right, can I hand this to you, John? Right, and we have Katie. Where's the lovely Katie? And we put her in this beautiful blue gown that is going to work really well for the way I light. And here she comes. The first thing we're going to do is, John, if you wouldn't mind setting up the constant, the ARRI, and we're going to get the scrim with the thinner diffuser on it.
Which direction you want to shoot?
We'll set the light up and then shooting the same way we did Sue's backlit. So we'll get these out of the way. Katie, come here. So I'm drawn to these kind of fabrics that are shimmery, smooth. They work very well with the way I do my lighting, and you'll see that on my website. I think you get these kind of tones. So Katie, you can hang out on the side of the set while we set up, and then I'll have you come in, but I wanted to show how beautiful she looks. All right, and then, so we're gonna bring the scrim. So we've been using the scrim with a 1.25 stop diffuser. That means it's cutting out quite a lot of the light. I'm now gonna use the one that is 0.75 stops. Don't ask me why they didn't just do it half stop and 1 stop. That would be so much simpler. But that's going to be on the Lastalite frame. Oh, I was going to show this. Sorry, I'm just going to walk over here. This, I kind of made a mess with the frame yesterday. This is the bag that my Lastalite scrim comes in, and I want to show this because this is in my traveling kit. It's small, it folds up like this, and it turns into this. So you can actually see it. John, if you just stand behind there for me. Ta-da! You can see John, an apparition of John, just through it. So it's actually quite see-through. I'm going to put that, John, if you put that around the height of your head, right in the middle, and plug it in, and just point it straight at me. All right, if I could get my tether. Where is it? Over there. Lovely. Oh, I miss having Sue on set. It was good to all right, and then just turn that on. Yeah. Let's see. Right, and then just angle it up a little bit. And this is how I work with my assistants. I can get away with not touching any of the stuff. It makes me happy. Good. All right.
Flood or narrow?
Say that again?
Narrow or flood?
Do a flood. Let's try that. Ah, yes, that's not so strong. Actually, no, do it narrow again. Yeah, perfect. And then Katie, if I can just have you in here. Lovely. And we're not going to worry too much about posing yet, but there we go. And I can just see kind of a haloed light coming behind you.
You may need to adjust white balance.
Yes, thank you, John. I will do that. Right, I'm shooting Canon because this works. It's set up, so just bear with me while I get my focus. Right, and it should come in on the tether. White balance to tungsten. Come on. There it is. And you start to get an idea. Obviously, that's not right. I'm going to take my aperture down to, I can probably get away with 2.8. See where we end up with that. And I've put the white balance on the wrong setting, I think. Yeah, I have. You know what? I'm going to go to auto white balance. I can always change it afterwards. And because we're shooting constant lights, the camera can figure it out. Right. This is kind of, this is like a kind of a Jesus image. God image, that light coming in behind her. I'm going to up my ISO because I'm still not at the exposure I want to. It's still not bright enough. And this is how I build my lights. So I will put in one light and I haven't put the reflectors in the front yet because I'm just going to make sure that the light behind is the way I want it to be. Lovely. And Katie's standing there so perfectly. Good. And then John, if we can just get those
Foam core.
Foam cores, yeah. I had wanted to get a little bit of a longer shot of Katie, so rather than just doing a headshot. Okay,
I'm going to bring it
could
around.
you hold this for me? Thank you. And I had set this up previously like this, and then bring me the other one on the other side, and I made a little white. So I'm angling those kind of more like this, and bouncing that light back at Katie from here.
Flip that one open.
and blocking off everyone else. And just get that tunnel as close as we can. That's great. And I'll take the camera back. Thank you. And you guys can see what I'm thinking of here. I'm going to go up in my, down in my shutter speed to 1/80th. I want it to be really bright. And that's going to give you like a kind of a weird shape. John, could you just open up the barn doors on that light?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we turn off the house lights, that might be good, yeah. Right, so I'm seeing immediately, the last time I used this, I actually used the higher powered HMI. So, John, can we put up another one of them behind there?
Yeah, let me go
Yeah,
grab
I
one.
want it to be a little bit more of a glow behind her. Oh, but this is beautiful. Can you see that from here? Wow. So actually, I'm gonna, Katie, if you just pop into one hip, I'm not gonna worry too much about posing because, yeah, beautiful. Maybe you can kind of give me a shoulder. Yeah, or like that. That's a bit too cheesy, isn't it? Maybe soft hands up here. Yeah, let's just try something. And I'm now gonna work with this flare. John, don't worry for now. I'm going to just shoot a couple of these. I'm going to work for that flare that's coming in. Hopefully this works. This would be good, isn't it, if it's the first thing that doesn't quite work so far. All right, good. John, I want you to move that light as far back as you can towards that back wall.
Sure.
So we're going to slide that all the way back just to make it give a bit more of a spread. There we go. And then I might, you know, in this situation, I'll probably, rather than setting up another light, I'm going to go in closer and just make it a headshot of Katie. Perfect. And just dip your chin forward for me. Yeah, long neck. Perfect. And I could shoot this. And you see what happens here? I'm getting like that little bit of a flare on the side. There it is. I wanted to get that bright spot. That's going to be a flare. If we then add in another light, which, have you got it there, John?
You want the tungsten or?
Yeah,
stone?
the tungsten.
Yeah. Give me a second.
I'm just going to fill it in. And we're going to put it right next to that one, maybe a foot lower, John.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I want to just see if we can fill in the other side over here. What I've done here is I can then close this little tunnel and go closer again, and I'm getting more of that light on Katie. And I want to have it a little bit dark on the face and really work through that silhouette around the edge. So I'm just going to have John put up the other light. Maybe I'm going to open up my shutter speed a little bit. Okay, that's beautiful classic pose. And you see, I actually wouldn't necessarily shoot it like this. I'm going to think of taking one of these and just moving it over a little bit so that I have a bit more of a spread across her face. And I can actually see that here. On the left, I have more light being reflected back. On the right, it's going a little bit darker. Do we have those two? Oh, perfect, John.
They're pretty close to each other.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, John. So I should have more light at the back, and it should be even brighter now. Just see, that's going to be a really big flare. And I can actually, you won't be able to see this, but as I move, I can get that flare to come up behind her head. And Katie, just move this way a little bit for me. Thank you. And we can make it really cheesy by doing this. And you kind of get that overblown. I can shoot this, it looks really horrible on camera, but I know that I can, this is like a simple setup. If I was really working through this for an hour, I would make the light perfect, but I know I can take this into alien skin. I have a flare there on her body that I really like. That'll come out really nice. I can just highlight that in Photoshop, get rid of the, white it all out, and I've got that dreamy light coming across her face. So I wanted to show you that. Any questions about this setup from the audience?
In the room?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So you just have the thinnest diffuser behind it and
Yeah.
just a hot light kind of
Yeah.
coming through, but why are you like funneling the light? Do you want the light to come directly to you? The reason why you have the V-flats that's...
Do you know why, if I can just hand this to you, it's, I'll make you guys, let's see if I can do a shot that's a bit longer. If I can step in between you guys here. Sorry. This is always what, the reason I do it like this, and this is such a silly reason, is it's an aesthetic choice for me. I'm always like, I shoot if I like it how it looks on set, you see that tube? When I stand here and I see all that light kind of reflecting off this, I feel like I'm in a spaceship. And I think that's why I set this up. The first time I tried this, I set it up like this. Sue's way works just as well, but I like having this corridor to go in, and it probably is the subconscious, like I can hide in here, you know? I'm gone. So that was probably the only answer.
So Felix, Virula is wondering about your focusing, and so I'm wondering, when you're shooting in this sort of setup, do you do anything differently? Do you still use just standard autofocus? Do you still meter as usual?
Well, the big joke is I'm shooting on Sue's Canon and I'm a Nikon shooter. So as long as I can get it to focus, that's good enough for me. So that's really as simple as it is. I'm flying by the hair of my teeth. Is that the right saying?
Seat of your pants.
Works for me.
Skin, yeah, you know what I mean. And, but you know what, the images that come off the end, I can use that. I know if it's not in focus. I kind of managed to adjust the little focus spot. And someone took the little clip of me saying, what do you shoot with? You know, when someone asks me the question, what do you shoot with? And I say, a camera. And they put it on Instagram yesterday. I love that. Me going like, no, you just got to shoot. Anything else? Okay.
People love it.
Cool. Anything in the audience? All right, but you see what I'm trying to achieve here, getting that wrap around. And I don't even need to do much because I'm really depending on my frame. Let's get a really beautiful silhouette here from Katie. If you pop into one hip for me, and let's be a dancer. Can you do, yeah, maybe, so we're going to make it a static dance. Maybe even get your thoughtful hands up here. Yeah, kind of, or maybe even, how would you do it? I mean, when I'm shooting portraiture, I'm working through with the client, and what Sue said yesterday is when they're resting, they'll usually go to a pose, and I depend on that a lot. You know, Sue is really so in tune with all the little posing tips, and if I have someone and I'm going to a specific place, then I'll just say like, maybe you can be more vulnerable, Katie, if you do that. And I do a lot of mirroring, and just really accentuate one hip and turn your shoulders. Yeah, and I want to get those, and this is always where assistants get behind-the-scenes pictures of me posing like women, and just pop one hip out, and I want to get a lot of shape, so if you accentuate your back there, yeah, good. And, you know, I find that different people have different ways of posing, and just look off camera for me, Katie, and turn your head towards this way, yeah. And I'm really going to go and work through the silhouette, and I would spend more time with this, but getting that kind of bright light to come behind her. All right, let's make a triangle, Katie. Actually, could I get a stool? There we go. Then where's that bar stool we had, John? Do you know? Say that again?
Danielle has it. She's bringing it in.
Danielle has it. Perfect. Let's try it on a stool, and we can get Katie on a stool. And I'm going to say stool one more time. Just for fun. Good, and the apple box, perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, and now I wish I had Sue's posing guide with me. So, Katie, do you want to go into one of this? There it is, perfect. Yeah, perfect, good. She's right there. No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm going to do this, there it is, perfect. Good. You know, this is what happens when I shoot. I get such tunnel vision, hey, that I forget. And I actually said in pre-pro, I'm going to use the stool for this shoot. So I just get so into it that I forget. So now, Katie, we want to be a bit taller in that shot. Yeah, perfect. And thoughtful fit. Yeah, perfect. Good. Good. And make it a bit graceful. Maybe you're looking down. Yeah. Great. Perfect. She knows what she's doing. Good. That's fine for me. I want to maybe if you put that hand here, there you go, perfect. I want to get those triangles that Sue always talks about. Good, and then give me a really intense look into the camera. Perfect. Thank you, Katie. Good, that'll do me, and I think we have something to work with, and that's just a good base. Oh, that's really nice, actually. I really like that. If I had someone with long hair, then we could use that to also create shape. Would be really nice. Good. Let's go to the next setup. And any questions on this one? No? Anything from the forums?
How would you describe this one? What is kind of the feel that you like to use this with, or what sort of work do you like to use this with?
I I like the flare that came in that one shot. You know, I want to keep this faster. This segment is kind of short, but I just wanted to show that you can play with the position of those lights behind, where you put them. And rather than move the lights, I was moving Katie. I'll actually do one more demonstration. Just take a step this way. You can yeah, good. And just a tiny step back. Yeah, perfect. And this is going to be hard to focus. I'm actually focusing on the edge of her face, because that's the only thing that really shows up in camera. And I wanted to get some images that have that flare. You see how beautiful that can be? And you're just getting that straight into the camera. The flare result is a result of light bouncing around inside of the lens. And that's actually really nice. So Katie, let's do some graceful arms right there. Yeah, and just maybe if you do like that, just to get, yeah. And we have to make it look like you're not pregnant. So, yeah, or just turn your body towards me a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna, this is a really, I see the silhouette only. I can't see her facial expression. I can't really see much detail in her fabric, but I like the silhouette of what's going on there. So let's see that. And I'm still getting that flare. So this could be, I think for an older lady, something you know, really graceful. You won't need to retouch the skin very much, and it's really like a poppy way of doing it. I'm going to hand I have 10 trusty assistants back here. This is great. All right, John. Any other questions before I move? Go ahead.
The lens hood, is this helpful for this type of shooting?
No, so I'll show you. If the light is coming straight in, the lens hood wouldn't deal with that. If you're shooting like this in that direction, the lens hood would stop some of that light hitting the lens directly. So if you had it like this, it would still hit the lens if you had it like that. But if you're shooting straight at the light source, there's nothing you can do. We want that flare. Yeah. So, but it doesn't. I don't need to take it off because I know it's going to hit the lens. Yeah. All right. Perfect. So let's take this away. I can introduce. Yeah. Feel free. Oh, thank you.
That shot there, Felix, was just like, no, Felix, don't go into the light. Don't do it. No. And then you went in the light and you're fine.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I actually really like that. Oh, yeah, Katie, well done. You see, but you can just see, this is what's beautiful about constant lights. You can see exactly what's going on. If I had the time, you know, I work with my guys and it's the same, like after half an hour, 45 minutes, you really get somewhere. I would really work in the shapes, and I don't shoot models, so I'm working with regular people and trying to find an aspect of who they are.